Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game and we're returning to Rule the Waves 2, where we're playing as the US. We are in war against the Soviet Union, which has brought an enormous amount of forces down here towards the South American west coast. So we are moving a couple of our forces from the North American east coast and Northern Europe towards the Caribbean to maybe intercept them on the west coast. We're going to have to see whether that is going to work out. But before we go ahead, I think I would want to make one change towards the air groups over here. And in particular in Stavanger, we do have a couple of torpedo bombers. I think these torpedo bombers are not that worthwhile here anymore. We're going to move them towards the reserve, and then we're going to use this space to introduce a new medium bomber group of 20 aircraft. So we have a lot of medium bombers now in Stavanger in Norway, so that they can exert some pressure on all of these European locations. So that I think is going to be fine. New docks are completed. That's nice. It's not necessarily okay. That's electro-optical directors. So that's incredibly important. Torpedo readiness. We've lost the Dale. That's not quite as good. Soviet radar is in turn. That's nice to see. Small engagement over here. We're gonna accept. Soviets decline. Okay, that's interesting. Right, so let's have a look at our ships and see, well, firstly see where the Soviets are. So they are indeed on the east coast. So that means we're going to take all of these forces in the Caribbean. All of them are active forces. So we have 2 battle cruisers, a couple of carriers, a lot of light cruisers, a couple of destroyers only. And we're going to move these ships towards the North American west coast. Try to intercept the enemy there and see whether any good is going to come out of that. We should also have a look at all of our ships and see whether there are any ships that are currently damaged. No. So just out of curiosity, so we have a new electro-optical director here. It would take 4 months, so I don't think this is a good thing to do while we are at war, but still it's good to know that it's there. So yeah, right, let's see how have they so many more forces down here? 4 battleships. What are they doing? I don't understand this at all. Commissioned. Our new dive bomber is ready for operational services. Convoy defense. So they've moved some of their forces here into this area, so that is certainly interesting. What are they doing? Are they moving back home? Did they just a detour, just a show of force around South America? So what have we got over here? We've got 3 battleships and 3 carriers in Northern Europe. They've got pretty much nothing. They could be moving these forces into Northern Europe, and we might meet them there. But I think I would like to stay here for a second, because these forces here on the west coast, they might be trying to come up over here as well, and we might intercept them at the very least over there. So that wouldn't be the worst, I guess. We are losing some money. Overall, I think we are still fine. Although these guys, before you're working up, can I actually upgrade you towards the latest class? Rebuild ship. It's always a little bit annoying that you can't build ships towards the latest design, but they'll always build towards the older design, which is somewhat, it's a little bit silly, honestly. Right. Good. Okay, next turn. Puerto Rico, we're losing some points. Some engine problems, some reconstruction, that's okay. The army wants more resources. I think we can give that to them. So the radar in turn, nice. No battle. Unfortunately. Okay, so they are moving their forces back. So in fact we need to take a look at our forces on the west coast. So that was ineffective, unfortunately. Including some of our ships are not ready over here. And these guys who are doing trade protection, we should also not move. But the rest of the ships can go back towards Northern Europe, I guess. So yeah, let's see about that. Alright. Enterprise is commissioned. Lovely. Gradual improvement of armor quality, also nice to see. We're losing a corvette, that's not good. Another San Francisco class has hit a mine, and someone is scuttling. Well, that's nice. Lots of forces now here in the Caribbean. Battle cruisers, carriers from their side. I don't know where they are moving though, so I think it's appropriate to move back towards Northern Europe. We have appropriately, approximately the same forces over here. They have more battleships. We've got more carriers. So yeah, that is something to consider. We should also keep in mind the new ship. Where is it? It was a carrier. Enterprise? Was it Enterprise? I don't see it. Oh yeah, Enterprise, right up at the top. Okay. So we're going to manage the air groups for the Enterprise. Oh, it has automatically pulled the same layout as the Ranger. Well, that's interesting. But I do have a couple of ships, aircraft in reserve, so I think what we actually should do is move this fighter group to reserve. And likewise these torpedo bombers to reserve. And then we can take the guys who are already veterans, or at least good. You are going to move over to the Enterprise. Yes. And you are also veterans. You're going to move over to the Enterprise. Yeah, so the Enterprise has at least some better quality aircraft. And it's alright to keep these around here because at least we're going to build another carrier group. So that's fine. But you know what? These guys here we can disband. Right. Yeah, so we have the proper layout for that. And you know what? We're going to add in... Okay, fine. Right. We are making some money now. We're also going to get the Bunker Hill in, well, about a year. Okay, let's see whether there's going to be a major... Reduces weight of diesel engines by 10%. That's a big change. Chaff dispensers reduces missile hit chance on ships. I don't think there are that many ships that are usually going to use missiles right now. So, new fighters to replace the Martin Nightingale. The Martin Nightingale has been somewhat effective in its role, I would say, so that's nice. But it is time for a new one. These guys all have much better speed. Their range is not fantastic, not on all of those at least. But still they're clearly better aircraft, so what I would like to get is one with good firepower. I mean, this has extremely good toughness, but we're mostly using these guys for combat air patrol, so I'm mostly concerned with dishing out damage. And range is also a consideration, so range light mostly, because this will enable us to stay in the air for longer. So this one would have slightly more firepower, but slightly less maneuverability and slightly less toughness. And this guy has better range. So I think this guy here, the Republic Harpoon, lovely name. Yeah, we're going to use that one. Coastal raid. Let's accept this. Well, okay. Let's suppress enemy airfields. Let's see whether that is going to work out. Okay, so it's early morning. We do have some forces here in the area. Not too much, actually. Just 2 battleships. San Francisco itself. You're supporting the San Francisco, that's fine. Only these battleships. Do we have some carriers? We do. So I'm going to ask these guys here to be a core part of the battleships. Well, it's good that there are no AI forces. I'm slightly concerned here. Okay, you know what? Let's take these destroyers. And I'm going to ask you to be screening for the battleships, actually. I'm slightly concerned that there are too little forces there. Too few forces. You're screening for the carriers, that's okay. Right. So we are again asked to go over here, so let's do this. Again, I would like a 2-phase search, maximum combat air patrol. Right pattern can go a bit more narrow. Left pattern can definitely be a bit more narrow. That's fine. Good. We're also going to ask our carriers to prepare. Again, we have 2 carrier groups. Okay, that's fine. So let's ask you guys here to prepare for a recon mission. That's 17 aircraft. You know what? Maybe not. You're going to be escort. You here, 12 aircraft. You're going to be recon. That's fine. I'm going to ask you to go to location over here. And you can launch immediately. Come on, this is going to be annoying if I get all of these error messages. Right. Still, you're going to go there. Unready, 12. Annoying. Okay, everyone else then. Get a heavy loadout. And ready. Okay, readying you're doing, that's fine. And then on Carrier Division 11. Similarly, I think you should all start to prepare. With heavy loadout, of course. Okay, fine. You go here. Max speed, actually. Yeah, you can launch float planes. Float planes are not the most important thing, but just stopping for a minute here is not a big issue. So yeah, there you can see someone is leaving there. In fact, you know what? Let's take a look at the Carrier Division. It's probably needs some time to actually prepare its stoic forces. You should actually maybe go a little bit slower so the carriers can catch up. Right, so let's play by 5 minutes here. And then we can order the strike from the Carrier Division 11. You should all be ready. Yeah, that's fine. Fantastic, actually. Let's take 12 dive bombers. And you're going to go for this target and just try to find someone. And that's fine. Ooh. We have some report from over here. I think this is close enough so that we can immediately investigate. There's there's an unidentified ship. Southwest. Okay, so that's probably all the same. What's our radar range actually? Slightly less even. Yeah, this is a destroyer. We have some good intel on that. Unidentified radar contact. I didn't see that. It's probably this ship. It's probably a destroyer. Light cruiser? I don't believe that. No, indeed it is a destroyer. Can you score some hits there, please? Soviets don't have that many destroyers, so again, that's rather important to disable them. Okay, 12 of our aircraft are approaching enemy ships. I would hope that this is up here. And we are getting a lot more reports. No major ships yet, only destroyers, transports, all of that. So yeah, some transports over there though. Nevertheless, let's launch some strikes. I think these guys here, 15 dive bombers. Your target is going to be the transport. No, actually, I would like these transport up here. Is that it? Yeah. Let's try to find some of these. Okay, so probably these dive bombers here are trying to approach the... Really? Dive bombers from Bennington, the Thunderbolts, are attacking a transport ship. It's not here, is it? This is not a transport ship. Yeah, still three bomb hits on this destroyer. Still surprisingly quick, and it's turning around just like that. Oh yeah, so it's trying to disengage from the air attack. How can it be still so fast? Right. Let's see. We've struck it so many times. How is it even still afloat? Okay, so I think it's sinking. Okay, guys, can you hold fire for 10 minutes? Just at least with the main batteries. You're catching your aircraft, that's okay. More reports, mostly of destroyers though, so nothing too big yet. Let's launch another strike with our carriers. It's actually fun to do this, I find. So yeah, let's take these 13 aircraft. And I think I would like you to do a strike. Let's say over here. You're gonna find something. Oh, did we get an unidentified contact over here? I mean, these destroyers here are still Yeah, they're suffering some damage, but is it going to be enough? Unidentified ship down there. Do we have more dive bombers? We have 10 unready dive bombers. Let's ready the strike with the EU guys. And over here, got a couple of unready, got a couple of ready ones. 16, 12, 16. I don't want to take too many. Okay, you know what? Let's take these. Let's get these guys here. Let's have them stand down. And we're going to try something different. You're firing on this guy? Supposedly a heavy cruiser, which I don't believe at all. It's much too fast for this. Yeah, it's a destroyer. Sorry about this. Are you scoring some hits on this at least? Thunderbolts are approaching enemy ships. Lovely. Potentially over here. No, that's just a single recon ship. Okay, so these guys up there, yeah. They probably found a transport ship, which is nice and lovely. Yeah, transport ship hits. Okay, let's have a look at the aircraft. These fighters, yeah, you're now unready, and I would like you to do a naval strike pattern with a medium layout. Let's do a heavy. And let's ready the strike. Couple of unready aircraft. Over here, couple of unready ones. Are you guys here readying? No, not yet. Okay, now you are. Come on. Kill them. Not scoring any hits there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is it slowing down? I think it's slowing down. 10 knots. It's lovely. Okay, so let's have another look at this. And I want to get the fighters, basically, to do a naval strike. Air patrol. No, they're not yet ready. Of course, historically, it took ages to ready an aircraft. Grosvenor class is being hit hard there. I think specifically from the San Francisco. We've not seen any reports though of anything heavier than a cruiser, a destroyer even. Okay, come on, the strike must be ready. Fighters. Fighter, 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 no. Oh, god damn it. Okay, Colorado's wasting all of its ammo on destroyers, basically. Carrier division signals misunderstood? That's unfortunate. Let's try to find anyone over here. Doesn't seem like there is anyone. What's this? Torpedoes? Yes. Yeah, we are torpedoing that. I think this is overdoing it a little bit, my friends. You don't have to torpedo and ooh 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 ooh. Oh, some air fights. Didn't quite catch that though. Any further reports? No, just destroyers. It's a small stuff, but still. What are you doing? You're sinking this guy here? No, you're still dealing with this guy, even though it has suffered torpedo damage. How can it be afloat? It must be hell. No one is left alive on this destroyer. Just look at the red dots appearing all the time, indicating that it's... Ooh. We found something. A destroyer. Okay, now I want to try... No. I want to try it and see... You guys over here. Now, it was on the carrier division 11. So we should have some fighters who have been readied in a strike formation. Don't we? Oh well, that's unfortunate. Okay. Okay, you know what? We're going to take a dive bomber squadron then. And that's going to be you, because why not? Just 2 dive bombers, but it might be enough to overwhelm a destroyer. We are attacking 19 what? 19 dive bombers. Remember last time we saw that the Soviets had 80 dive bombers ready. And we are keeping our aircraft ready all of the time, which is somewhat dangerous. Okay, we can probably go here. Well, at least we haven't been hit by these dive bombers. We have some heavy carrier combat air patrol, so that's nice. 2 Grom Thunderbolts are approaching this destroyer. And we are scoring a hit on this, so that's nice. Also more unidentified ships down there. There's an AMC, apparently. Don't quite believe that. No, it's a transport ship. Maybe not. Maybe don't fire 10-inch guns, 16-inch guns on that. Let's hold fire for 10 minutes. I think that's enough to get very close to it. Then score much better hits. Okay, do another naval strike here. Ah, it's going to be dusk. Alright. So if it's going to be dusk, then we should take all of these aircraft here and at least get them back to a stand down position, so that at least we're not in danger of being hit right now very hard by some enemy, by some freak enemy attack and the last just minutes of the daylight. Okay, the destroyer is now firing on this guy and it's immediately sunk. Now we can detach 1 destroyer. Don't think that's too much. Yeah, and we can go down here as well. Okay, let's just sail across here, across this channel. And you know what, I think we can disengage. Nighttime is coming. Let's pick up the survivors. Some prisoners of war will always be welcome. And then we can completely disengage. That should be lovely. Ooh. An unknown radar contact? Where? Down here. Interesting. Multiple ships down there, in fact. Can you actually be a core part of this? I don't want you to get too close to enemy destroyers. We are scoring some hits there by radar firing, basically. But this is much too close to comfort. The destroyers are doing something to shield the carrier, which is really appreciated, but... can I take it out of AI control? I cannot. Okay, yeah. That could have ended in disaster. A torpedo run by an enemy destroyer on a more or less unescorted carrier. That would have been hilariously bad. Right, and the game should ask us to end this scenario soon. So we didn't sink anything major, no battleship, no carrier or anything of the sort, so that's a little bit sad, but ultimately I think we are alright. We did sink a couple of minor ships, and remember the Soviets don't have that many, so I think that's okay. Come on, game. It's alright. No one sees each other. We're not going to stumble into each other. Would be a freak chance. And what as I say that, potentially us being torpedoed heavily. What are you doing? Bale. We should reattach. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We lost a submarine for whatever reason. Okay, they didn't even have any capital ships, but still we sunk 3 destroyers, so yeah. Hunting the small stuff is still nice. Let's look at the almanac. So, in terms of destroyers, they still have 12. It's not that little. Some AMCs, some KEs. They're building these up, I believe. But yeah, still a lot of capital ships. And we never saw their carriers. Their carriers can carry... Some of them can carry a decent amount of ships. This here is... Didn't the Japanese have something similar? No. Someone had an immensely big carrier. An immensely big light carrier. Yeah, I mean, the Soviet Union, the light carriers are 40,000 tons, basically. What is this? So it's a converted thing at 36,000 tons, and it only carries 20 aircraft. What does it do? It has 8 5-inch guns. That's okay. It has immensely good armor, and it's extremely fast, extremely big, but it doesn't carry anything. And this guy is even worse. 6 aircraft? What joke is this? I don't believe this. This must be more aircraft. Yeah, but this is the trouble with converted things. Right? So you have this enormous amount of armament and armor, but Leningrad, yeah, this is a decent ship. And Tashkent is a very modern aircraft carrier, 34 knots, so that's extremely fast. And 14 5-inch guns. 14. Curious, I never saw that type of number. Well, it's 7 on each side, so that might be a glitch here. No, I don't think it can be a glitch. These must be primary guns. Interesting. Interesting layout. And the Kiev class, again, 31 aircraft. Am I supposed to believe this? 23,000 tons. Not even dual purpose guns. I kind of doubt the parameters here on some of these ships. AMCs, Admiral Latsev, big battle cruisers. Well, at least we have defeated all of their extremely big ships, the ships that are bigger than ours, so that's lovely to see. How's your strength disposition? Still predominantly in Northern Europe, so I expect a very big clash here, potentially next turn. I mean, they have six major gunships, 3 carriers, 2 light, quote-unquote light carriers. And we are over our base cap, so we should actually have a look over here in the base overview in Northern Europe and in Stavanger? No, Norway, just improve our naval bases. It's at 220, and how much is it in Tsingtao? Yeah, we should improve this as well. If we ever get into war with Japan, that should be much better. Yeah, now the Soviets have concentrated all of their forces over here, so it's appropriate for us to do the same. Most of our forces are in fact over there. There are very few that are elsewhere. You are on the west coast because apparently you got damaged there at some point, so that's okay. The Santa Ana, I think it was still working up, so you shouldn't really be in a combat area. Same with the Ranger over here. You guys are suffering some damage, so we should potentially move you out. I think we can move all of the Raleigh classes out of Europe and move you towards the east coast, so reduce the pressure on our ships a little bit. Ranger is starting to see some issues, but I do want to keep it around in case we do see the fight next turn. So moving out some light cruisers is fine, I believe, but shouldn't do too much of that. Now what are we building? We are building a couple of things. So we're still building a carrier. We're building a lot of smaller ships. Should we build more light cruisers? Where do we stand in the international comparison? Major gunships, we're doing better than most except for the Soviet Union. Italy, what are you doing? Italia class. So you're actually building a new battleship. Interesting, extremely interesting. Battle cruisers, we are somewhat behind the most countries, but I think it's alright. Clearly have the most carriers. We could think about some light carriers for anti-submarine warfare patrols. Could also think about some heavy cruisers to accompany our our carriers. Do have some light more destroyers I think are actually the best bet for us. Lots of corvettes. We could build some submarines. Let's build a couple more Truxtons, I believe. I believe more destroyers are the way to go here. Let's say 5. Let's say 4. That's fine. Yeah. Very good. Could build another Ranger, so that would bring us up to 4 of this class. And you know what? We might want to do that. What name would you suggest? The Wasp? Yeah, I think the Wasp is fine. Yeah, so we're losing a lot of money now, but these things here will finish very soon, so that I think is okay. Might want to have to hold this at some point, but all in all I think we are fine. And after the war we're probably going to scrap a couple of ships. Specifically the Raleigh, some of the older aircraft carriers maybe. Maybe even a single battleship. That being said, I think this is a very good place to put in a cut. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Do leave a like and all of that if you want, and I see you guys next time. Bye bye.